Are you already live on the actual channel?
Yes. Hello and welcome. This is the 17th round of the FSGP series. We are in Baku, Azerbaijan. 10 minutes remaining in practice at the moment. Roland Beasley leading the standings for now.
And you know, Baku's one of those tracks that you think that you're going to do well on, and then you get here, and then everything goes out of the window.
Yeah, anything can happen around here. The longest straight on the calendar, the narrowest section on the calendar. It's got a little bit of everything, and you see Taylor Lou hit the wall right there. Still going. But that's what I mean. The walls are so close. This race can be as chaotic as any.
And this section right here by the castle is always a little bit tricky of a complex to get through. Ooh, it looks
Ooh,
like Cadillac did
Sender
a little
Coots
bit of a
spun
spin.
around.
Looks like we've got a couple of new drivers today. Walton, I believe.
Yeah, Sonny Walton. That's a new name around here. I almost said Ozias is new, but that's just
That's Losey with
that's
his
Laws.
real name.
Yeah, I'm not used to seeing that. Yeah.
And then we've got another slightly newcomer. He's not actually like fully new, but we also have Matthew Mansell. So far, it looks like Cadillac's actually leading the pack on this one.
Yep. Yeah, Sandor ahead by 2/10 now.
Dormelin was able to outbeat Roland, though. I do like Roland's custom livery.
The Mach 5.
It's definitely cool. Ooh, Ashley just hit the wall. I guess we have two Mach 5s this time because we've got both of the Beasley brothers on.
Yeah, we got Roland Beasley in the gray Mach 5, and then Stell Beasley in the white Mach 5.
A little bit of love in the chat for one Panabianco. He's currently in 7. We'll see how well he does today.
Who's Sonny Walton in the wall?
Sonny was just completely perpendicular.
Yeah.
Looks like Jesper's having a bit of a hard time. So, David, who are you putting your money on this race? You think it's going to be Mr. Sandor? You think Dormlin's going to pull it through in the end? Either
I think
Zweibeck or Roland.
so. I'm thinking it's going to be really close between Dora Malin and Sandor today. We've seen them have some good battles in the past. Um, I we have Roland Beasley up to the top of the timing tower now.
A really good time. 1 minute 14.393.
Yeah,
Last year we did see slightly faster times, but I do believe we were in completely different conditions. There was much better wind last year. We have a little bit more gusty wind this year, and the overall temperatures are, I believe, lower.
yeah. Wind makes a big difference on this track with the long straights. So, oh, still Beasley hits the wall in
Oh!
the castle, almost takes out his brother.
And at the same time, Sunny and Goose came together.
Did they?
That,
Yeah,
that's unfortunate. Same spot, too. Something's happening with Jesper. He just keeps on disconnecting. I wonder if he's having problems with his ping, or is it his equipment? We've got Tanny in chat. Tanny usually drives with us, but is not in today.
yeah. He's off go-karting, I believe. Real karts,
Sometimes
not.
you got to do it in real life.
Yeah.
We got a bit of a train forming here with some of the faster drivers. Goose lets Roland by.
Yeah. Goose is on his outlap right now. Just came out of the pits after that collision with Sonny Walton. So
Now, I know Roland and Stell spend a lot of time practicing together. But what I find really interesting is that Goose pretty much practices on his own, yet he's still at the top of the timing charts.
yeah, we've seen some races recently. Goose is talking about how little he practices, actually, but he's still consistently top 3. It just goes to show how skilled of a driver he is. He can be so consistent with so little practice.
Well, I guess when you grow up doing this sort of kart racing, it just sort of gets imbued into your brain. Coming up on Sunny once again. See if there's going to be any more shenanigans here. Sunny does seem to be blocking the leaders. Ooh,
Oh,
ooh.
we go 3 wide there, was that?
For a
As
moment, yeah, Goose is now in a little bit of a Roland backs out entirely.
we're down to
Well,
2 minutes remaining in practice.
we might be seeing some interesting turns of events in the actual race if this is how it goes down.
Yeah, again, the walls are so close to the track here that it can be sometimes difficult to get past back markers without causing damage to either yourself or uh, the other driver.
I believe it was 3 years ago that we actually did see that towards the end of the race between Goose and Jason. And it actually did end up determining the outcome of the race.
Yeah, that must have been
Panabianco hits the wall.
before I was a member of this.
Last minute of practice. Let's see what we've got going up and down the board. Beasley still at the top, followed by Losey. Oh, Goose stops middle of the track, gets hit by Panabianco. Oh, man. Okay. Goose then disconnects. That might have been a technical issue.
Yeah, Goose doesn't seem like the type of driver to do that. We saw Jesper do the same thing right there. Stop in the middle of the track, almost hitting Panabianco as well, actually.
Got a little bit of inside information. Goose has never actually won on this track. He came really close. He didn't do any practice today. And he was pretty busy doing music, so he actually has not gone the full step to try to, get the win today. So we might not be seeing him on the top of the podium.
Maybe not. But I'm looking at how close the timings are right now. Top 5 all within a second of each other as practice comes to a
Definitely very
close.
impressive, yeah. We don't really see Zweibeck nearly as often as we used to, but oh wow, never mind. Beasley pulling out the 113.011. That actually pushes Dormelin down a full second out of the top. He's all the way down to 6th now.
So, end of practice 1. We have Sonny Walton finishing 12th, Jesper Nyberg 11th, Matthew Mansell 10th, Luca Panabianco is 9th, Stel Beasley is 8th, Vandersalm 7th, Dora Mallon 6th, Sandor Koot is 5th, Edvin von Zweigberg is 4th, Taylor Liu 3rd, Ozias 2nd, and Roland Beasley leading the timing table.
I never thought I would see Goose in the very middle of the pack. That this is a wild turn of events.
Yeah, Goose Van Dora Mellon down in 6th is a big upset. But again, it is just practice. Here's where lap times really count, qualifying.
And I don't know about you, but whenever I do qualifying, I purposely wait until everyone's gone.
Yeah, that can be a strategy on most tracks, but Baku, with the long straightaways, draft is critical. So you need to find somebody that's close enough to your lap time that they're not going to slow you down. But also, you have to stay close enough that you get the draft.
And all the top runners went out immediately, so they're they're just going for it. So Losey is behind Nyberg. Zweibeck is right behind Cadillac. Stell's behind Zweibeck. Dormelin is actually on his own. I think that's because he had the front of the pit, so he was able to get out without any real people behind him. Although that is, as you said, a double-edged sword. On this long straightaway, you kind of want that draft. And already we're starting to see differences between people who do have the draft and don't have the draft. And unfortunately, Goose just caught up to Sonny Walton. So we are going to see some shenanigans soon, I bet. Oh, and
Dormalin
already.
hits.
Oh. Oh, this is not great.
Yeah. Not the outlap that Dormalin was hoping for there. We see the other front runners encountering Sonny Walton now.
Oh,
And
Cadillac also.
Cadillac hits.
Oh, Sonny, I think he's just going at half the speed down the straight, and the rest of the drivers just are not used to having to deal with such a big differential. And, when you get a new driver, they do have to read the brief and understand exactly how to let people by. So maybe he's just didn't take the time to read that information, but we'll see what happens. And Jesper Nyberg now leading the charts.
Taylor Liu comes across the line. A 1:11.9.
A very fast time from Taylor. The fastest time we saw in practice was a 1:11.3, so a 1:11.9 is actually quite fast.
Yeah, as the track rubbers in, the lap times are going to get faster, so. That is Roland Beasley up to second.
And remember, everybody, we are an open series, so if you do want to come play with the rest of us, get a little race in, head on over to Sim Racing GP and search FSGP. Oh, Taylor hits the wall. You can always tell when someone has a teleport button bound on their wheel, because if they hit the wall and immediately disappear, that's someone panic hitting that button. Roland is trying to get in the draft of Mr. Sandor. And we're about to see the differential in speed that when you have a draft versus when you don't have a draft.
Right, because Coot in front doesn't have anybody to draft on. Beasley is... I don't know if Beasley's quite close enough to get the draft. That's quite a bit of a gap there.
You need to be within about 5/10 to really get the draft. So he might just be right outside at the moment. Panabianco's definitely far enough back where he's not getting it. It could be that he lifted to allow a little bit of space to form.
Maybe.
Losey goes to the top of the timing board.
Panabianco spun there in turn 2.
I must have missed that. I guess he did it on the... he must have hit the curb a little too hard.
Yeah, I didn't really see exactly what happened. It was in the background. I was following Roland Beasley.
So far, while the individual people who are on the top 5 has slightly changed around, who's there is still the same. We still have Losey. Actually, Taylor has pushed out his Wybeck, but otherwise, it's pretty much the exact same people, just slightly different orders.
I mean, I don't want to jinx it again, but top 5 are separated by less than a second. Nyberg just outside that 1 second. And
Easily.
I every time I say that.
Pulling out a 1:11.031. That is a very fast time.
Yeah.
I think that the fastest we'll see today, if we're lucky with the draft, will be a 1:10.9. Taylor just doing a 1:10 or 1:11.019. Slightly faster.
Every time I talk about how close the top is, we have somebody set an insane time.
And you know who's having a real hard time out there right now? Stell Beasley. He's at 8 seconds off the time, and he's normally solidly mid-pack, so something must have happened with him there. He's behind Jesper now, so maybe he's got a good pull, but
Jesper goes up
definitely
to fifth.
not looking like a good day for him so far. In fact, he's behind Walton, who's brand new. Dormelin finishes another lash, pushes back down Nyberg down to 6th. Ooh, still hits the wall. You know what that could be? It could be that Stell wasn't used to having draft there and just
Got hit by the
unexpected the
dirty
top
air.
speed. Yeah, a little bit of top speed, a little bit of dirty air. It could send you off.
Hits the wall again right there.
Now, the real life conditions of the track tomorrow is probably going to be a wet to dry race. We unfortunately can't do that here, but we do have overcast.
Still Beasley just went up to 7th there. Yeah, the real circus is racing in Baku on the one day they get rain a year. So
Panabianco is once again sideways. Looks like he teleported back. You know, we never really talk about them. Oh, he did? Wow.
Yeah.
We don't really talk about them too much because they're usually in the very middle of the pack. But you know who's doing pretty well this season? Ashley Vandersam. Got some good points this year, making good maneuvers. She's in 9th.
Yeah, Ashley's been doing well this season, consistently bringing in points. So
Last 40 seconds of the qualifying, I feel like this is when you want to be just about to cross the line. It's always that last lap where you really, and see, as I say it, there it is. 110.9 by one Roland.
did he have draft for that? Doesn't look like there's anyone in front of him.
I believe he did have draft, but the person in front of him teleported afterwards.
Okay.
So with that, I am not sure if anyone's going to beat that time. Losi is up. Goose is behind right now. Praying this draft will be enough to push him to pole. They are in the middle of a train, though. I don't know if this is going to be enough.
Yeah, they've got Matthew Mansell right there. Mansell
it
is
does look like
11th at the moment.
I think Losi has Mansell must have teleported because he's gone now. I think Goose had to compromise, but Losi actually has got a really good run. Wow, Roland made it down to a 10-7.
10-7 is insane.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Losi and Goose going across the line on the front now.
Losi ahead.
The long straight. Losi pushes to 2nd.
Dormalin up to 5th, overtakes Jesper Nyberg there.
Not enough, though, to get that pole position. So only Roland manages to push it into the 10s. I am wrong. Cadillac at the last second manages to take it from Roland.
Final time of a 110.701.
31 hundredths is the gap. We don't normally see that in qualifying.
That is very
Mr. Sandor,
close.
the Cadillac himself, saying, nope, today's my day.
Yeah, this is going to make for a very interesting fight at the front. We see, yeah, I can say it now because we're not racing. Top 6, all within a second there. I imagine we'll see some good battling and maybe some chaos in the opening tours.
So we've got Sandor ahead of Roland, who's ahead of Losey, who's ahead of Taylor, who's ahead of Goose. Goose is ahead of Jesper, who's ahead of Edwin van Zweibeck.
Here come the lights. And away we go. We are racing in Baku. Sandor Koot cuts off the door there. We see
Ooh, big
contact.
crash
Taylor
behind.
Loose spun around. That is
That
Taylor
affected,
Lou.
I believe, half the top of the track. Goose Van Dormelen also involved in that. Down to the final position. Insanity just happened there.
Yeah, now we see 3 of the front runners here. We have Nyberg, Lou, and Doramalen all together right here at the
Meanwhile,
back.
oh, Sonny, just what are you doing? Drive the car, Sonny.
Yeah. To play devil's advocate, these are difficult vehicles to drive. It don't really drive like anything else, so it is difficult to just hop in and
Meanwhile,
go
at the
quickly.
front, Roland is running down Cadillac. Here it comes. We're on the line. Will they have enough battery? Cadillac keeps it. Oh, Roland comes really close to his behind. We can see Losey behind them. A little bit further down the pack, we have Van der Slam and Panabianco having a bit of a tuffle. Luca just doing a little bit of door closing. Oh, he hit the wall, though.
Right behind Vandersam, now we have Taylor Lou and Doramalen there.
They're both making their way up the pack, but
Yeah,
it
trying to
is
recover
difficult to
after that
do.
turn 1 incident.
When you're that far behind, you need something to happen in the front. Otherwise, there's no real way to get back. Sandor pulling out a 111.6, but it immediately is taken over by Losey, who did a 111.1. Some people are asking in chat who Coot is. Coot is Cadillac.
Cadillac Crafter. He recently started racing under his real name, Sandor Koot.
Back at the front, Roland and Cadillac are still fighting. Mr. Sandor is ahead, though. He's managing to slightly fend off Roland so far. There's not a lot of overtaking opportunities in the section of the track they're in, so it makes sense.
Doramalen
Ooh,
spun around.
and
Stopped on track.
I think he might have given up. That might be a DNF for Roland or Goose Van Dormelen. He's still soft.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's trying to restart there. Must have happened a while ago too, because look, we got 10 and 11 coming by, and he's already 12th.
And that's not a great place to be stopped either.
No, he's right on the racing line there. There he
There
goes,
he
disconnect.
disconnects.
Curious if that's a
Maybe a
yeah,
hardware failure?
maybe.
At the front, though, Roland is still in behind Cadillac. I think
Yeah.
they might have touched there, or that could have been just netcode.
Yeah, I didn't see anything there. Very close though.
It's always exciting when the very front of the pack is also the closest, and they're just battling the entire time. 14 more laps to go.
On board
So
with.
when do you think they're
Oh,
gonna? When do you think they're gonna pit? Maybe
not
lap
sure.
10?
Lap 10 seems realistic. Maybe a little bit later.
You could probably
I-
push it to 12 or 13 if you really wanted.
yeah, I didn't do any practice for this race because obviously I'm not driving. So I'm not really sure what the fuel strategy is on this one. But
I think on Baku, the undercut does actually work pretty well. So maybe we'll see one of them. Maybe if Roland just gets frustrated and can't get past Sandor fast enough, maybe he'll do the undercut. You got to keep in mind though that Losey's right there. If they don't make that pit perfect, Losey could actually jump a position. Further down the pack, we have Jesper trying to make a run on Stel Beasley.
you see Roland makes the fake, but Sandor Coot doesn't fall for it. Still continuing the same order.
Jesper's making a move on Stel. Stel's pushing. A little bit of contact. More contact.
Jesper Nyberg goes ahead up to 6th.
That was a bit a bit rough there. But he makes it stick. At the same time, Vandersam is continuing to fight with Panabianco.
Yeah,
Possibly
we've got 3 good fights going on right now.
going to try to make a move here. I think she might have a little more battery than Luca. Oh, we got to go back to the front, though. Roland and Cadillac.
Roland's on the inside. He's ahead, but
Ooh,
around the
Cadillac
outside,
hits the wall.
see,
They're still side by side.
Ozias also hits the wall behind them.
Oh, wow. This
could go either way.
I think Roland's got it.
Roland's got it for now, yeah. But
All right, we've got to change for the lead.
Lozzie's
But
caught up a lot there.
Look who's just like, thank you very much. Keep fighting. I'm ready to take what you leave. And now we've got a 3-horse race.
Yeah, the more Sandor and Roland fight, the closer Ozias gets. Ozias inside.
He's got it.
Up to 2nd.
Wow. Maybe Cadillac burnt his tires a little bit from doing all the defending earlier.
It certainly seems that way, but now very close in the draft on the long straightaway. Ozias goes defensive.
Cadillac's going to get by. Oh, Cadillac is in the pit, so that is a very early pit from Cadillac.
Yeah, lap 8. But as you were saying earlier, the undercut is very powerful here, so
Oh, he didn't have the greatest stop. He slightly missed his box, but it was enough to still get it in. Still in P3. You lose about 10 seconds doing a pit, so he's about 9.6 behind, 9.8. Losey dropping a little bit behind on Roland.
A little bit farther back, we have Panabianco makes contact with Stell Beasley, spins around. That lets Vandersam by as well. Panabianco's down to 9th.
That's unfortunate because Luca was doing well for the first half of this race.
Yeah, there was that good battle with Ashley earlier.
About 10 laps to go. Ashley must have hit the wall because she pulled over to the side to let Luca by. I expect we're going to start seeing a lot more pits now, especially with the last 9 laps or so of the race going through. We are exactly at the halfway point now. And we get Vandersam in the pits. Oh, Losey hit the wall.
A little rough over the curbs there from Losey.
And this is one of those tracks where you kind of have to run as much curb as you can, but when you do that, it does unsettle the car. Roland hits the pits.
Yeah, it's high risk. Because remember, again, walls are so close to the track. Hits the wall again there, Lozzie.
So one thing to know about Ivan is that he loves to go long. This is his strategy every race. He will go as far as that tank can bring him. So now if he's lucky, he can just run away. I don't know if his pace, though, is there to be able to do that against Roland.
Yeah. Gap right now is 8.7. 8.8.
Starting to see some lap traffic. Walton and Mansell both very far down the pack.
You see the battle for 4th right now between Zweigbergk and Sandor. I believe Zweigbergk still has to make a pit stop.
Edvin's running that red and white livery. Not many people run that. Cadillac is running down the side now. And keep in mind, Cadillac did an early pit, so he is ahead. And now in the podium positions. Taylor had a bit of a slow stop there. About 11 seconds. I think he slightly missed his block.
Ozai is at the top, still has to make a pit stop, but we're seeing that gap continue climbing. It's up to 9.3 now.
And if Losey can get it to about 11 seconds, he will keep P1.
Yeah, anything else and it's going to be close on exit.
What Losey really wants is for Cadillac to catch Beasley, but that is a big gap that they would have to bring down. So I think unless he hits a back marker, that's not going to happen. And Zweiback has started to fall off Cadillac, so I don't... and he's in the pits now, so that is a settled battle. And I think what some people are forgetting is that if you're going into pits, burn your battery. You get it all back once you go into the pits. Stell is now in pit. And he cracks the wall and exit. Now, I really like these cars, but one thing I do think would help improve the racing is some tire compound changes. Oh, we have Losey in the pits now. Roland's coming up. It's going to be close.
Rolling to the lead. That's very close on exit there.
Losey should have a full battery now. So the question is, does he wait to burn it on the straight to try to get even closer? But anyway, as I was saying, I think if we had multiple tire compounds, we would see more interesting races.
Add a little bit of strategy to it, yeah.
Make like a soft that only lasts like 4 or 5 laps.
Yeah, that can make things interesting. I think if you do that though, you have to make the tire change time quicker. Because as it is right now, it takes so long to change tires that it usually isn't worth going for on most tracks.
Alternatively, those tires would have to be significantly faster.
Right.
It looks like most of the battles are settled now. We have one between Losey and the lead with Roland, and we have Zweibeck and Nyberg, although Nyberg just went into the pit.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like the battle right now is it's for the lead between Beasley and Ozias.
And I believe that now means that everyone on track has taken their pit stop. Everything else will be settled on the track.
Right now, Zweigberg is the highest climber, up 2 positions, and a lot of
The
the
biggest loser is definitely Dormelin.
oh yeah, no, 6th to 12th is not the race he was hoping for.
Losey burns it.
The
A
inside
little bit of a tail hap.
slides a little bit there. Beasley maintains the lead as they close down on Sonny Walton.
And at the
Here.
same time, Cadillac puts in a really nice time of 1:11:06. He's trying. He's really trying to get back, but there's not enough time. 3 laps is not enough to make up 7 seconds.
7 seconds.
Although Sonny's doing his best. Oh, man. Roland just got kind of fucked over there. Oh, Losey got a little bit of a sniff there. A little bit too fast. That's the same thing that we've seen before. I think he's got a little problem with dirty air. Ooh,
Oh.
Contact. Oh, another contact.
Banging wheels here.
And I think Losey's rears might be a little hot now because we've seen him twice have a little bit of a tail release. Oh, will Roland be able to snap it back? Or Losey keeps it.
Very close between these two. They are not leaving any space.
Ivan runs up the castle section. And this is a scary place for you to be in the ass of the other driver. I wish we could see battery, because it would be really interesting to know who has which.
We saw Roland there hitting the outside wall in that high-speed corner. So I
It
wonder
looks
if
like Roland had a lot more battery because he just flew by Losey, although more
banging wheels
bangs.
again. Oh,
Oh!
that's a big wreck. Looks like
Roland is
Roland's.
waiting.
Yeah, but they have got
But do
now.
you
I
know who's
believe
back in
that's
play?
Sandor
There's
Coote up to
Cadillac.
second.
Oh, man. That was a change. I think we're going to see a protest on that one. About 2 laps to go. Roland is starting to pull away, but Cadillac's down in 0.9 now. I guess the real question is, do you think Roland burnt his entire battle in that fight with Ivan?
I mean, we did see that he clearly burnt a lot of battery. I don't know if he burned his entire pack there, but
0.7. I think what we're seeing now, and we're on the final lap, I think we're seeing Cadillac holding his battery until we get back to the next point. Losey, unfortunately, just touched the wall in the background.
it's at 0.5 now. 0.4.
This is going to be very close.
I don't know if Roland has the battery to defend against this.
Looking at the onboard of Cadillac, his inputs are very smooth right now. You could tell he's locked in.
If he's got any tricks left, now's the time to use him. We are on the
Coming up.
final straight, down towards the line to decide the winner.
They're both burning battery. Cadillac's got a little bit more speed. This
Will it
might
be
come
enough?
down to it.
Will he pass it before the line? They go side by side.
No.
I
Wow. He
yeah,
didn't get it.
he didn't get it.
He did not get it. He got the fastest lap, but he did not pass Roland.
What a finish for the lead. We see the
Definitely
celebratory drift there.
a bit of a
Cadillac.
crazy turn of events in this particular race. I did not expect that we would see an immediate crash to knock out the leader of the championship.
Yeah, that is not the race that Dormalin was hoping for.
And let's head on over to the interview section. So it looks like Cadillac is unfortunately sick and will not be able to join the interviews today. But we have P3 and I believe P1. David, are we good to go?
We're good to go.
Lozy, Mr. Ivan. P3? Bit of a crazy race. Walk me through it.
Yeah, very crazy. I think, yeah, I had a chance to win. I had a very tough battle with Roland, with a lot of contacts in the straight. We were not really understanding each other. But yeah, I think that when we were fighting and I was in the inside, I was always leaving a space for him on the outside. But when he had to leave me space, when I was on the outside in turn one, I think he didn't leave me enough space. I understand he tried to wait for me, but yeah, Cadillac was coming, he was catching us, and so he decided to keep going. But yeah, very very enjoyable race.
And we were watching you guys pretty much the entire time. And it looked like your rears were going a little bit sooner than Roland's. Were you think you were just pushing a little too hard in the corners and that was causing you to lose grip, or was it just you were over pushing the car?
Like you mean in every corner or?
Mostly turn
Turn one.
1 and 7.
Yeah, well, turn one. I mean, when we were fighting, I had and you're on the inside. I have to do such a tight line that I almost have to drift the car, so I leave a space for him on the outside. But yeah, in the practice I felt the car very understeery because my front tires were very cold, and I went for a oversteery setup to try to balance that effect. So maybe that's why it looked like that.
And let's talk about your pit strategy, because you did something completely different from the rest of the pack. You went as long as possible. Do you think the overcut really helped you there, or was it just you hit your marks on the pit and you think that Roland didn't hit him as well?
I don't know if Roland had a mistake when we were running alone, but I think yes, the like the overcut it kind of worked because like when Roland pitted he was 2 seconds ahead of me, and when I pitted and when I came out of the pits I was just behind him. So I guess it worked.
And did you do a lot of practicing today, or was it just sort of like Baku enough where you didn't feel like you needed to practice as much as other tracks?
To be fast, you definitely have to practice Baku. Baku is not an easy circuit. Today I didn't practice, but I did yesterday a few hours.
So you, Roland, and Cadillac were the only people to do a 110 in practice. No one actually was able to do that in the race, but it was impressive to see during the qualifying.
Well, yeah, actually, I don't know their laps, but my lap, I did my lap, the entire lap behind Goose, very very close to Goose, and I get 2/10 or 3 in the first sector, but yeah, because I was so close to him, I lost all those tenths in the castle section, and yeah, we finished Goose and I we finished our laps at the same time, like side by side, the quali laps, because of the main straight. I had his toe, and I spent all the energy, for the main straight, and it was very interesting to finish our laps at the same time.
Well, I hope you had a fun race. It did look like you were battling basically the entire time. A very small window there where you were on your own, but otherwise, pretty much hard knuckled the entire time. Hard fought P3.
We'll have to see penalties, what happens. Also, the start was very messy. I don't know what happened there.
It looked like a few people in the back collided. It actually took out Goose, Taylor, and a couple of the people who were in the front. But thank you very much. P2 is Cadillac today, but he unfortunately is sick, so he can't come to these interviews.
Cadillac won
Oh, Cadillac won?
by 18.
Yeah,
100.
Cadillac crossed the line first. Like for a few thousandths, I don't know. It was 0.0 in my screen.
Oh,
Maybe
wow.
not.
When I looked at that, Cadillac was in P2 still. Okay, well, all right, let's go to Roland then. Roland, you had the craziest race of them all. Let's start at the
Yeah.
beginning. You were behind Cadillac. You were behind him pretty much the entire race until he had a bit of a mishap. Walk me through that first section.
So my plan was to try and stay within his slipstream and then potentially go for a 2-liter pit stop. But after around, I don't remember how many laps, I decided to throw that away. And then I overtook him on the straight to try and get out of his slipstream to maybe pull ahead. And yeah, that's pretty much.
It looked like in the first part of the race, you actually did have a good amount of pace.
Yeah, no, I could keep up behind him. And the slipstream, it helped.
And let's talk about when you took the when you finally got past Roland and you took your pit stop a little bit early. What was going through your mind when you decided to take that pit early?
I thought Sandor was, so he pit earlier and I thought he was deploying. So I wanted to wait a good bit to still have enough ERS for the rest of the race. And then while also trying to stay ahead of Cadillac.
And so that brought you into contention with Losey, and then you had a battle pretty much the entire rest of the race with Losey.
Yeah.
Did you find that battle different from when you were fighting with Cadillac?
Definitely, yeah. So when battling Cadillac, we had pretty, I mean, I wouldn't say we were aggressive yet because we still had a way to go. So it was a little bit more toned down. But when Losey caught up to me, my ERS tank was pretty much empty. And I know he had a lot. So it was really, really tough trying to stay out of slipstream on the straight, because if he gets on slipstream on the straight, then there's just nothing I could do. In fact, Losey, I am wondering, did you go for a 2-liter or was it a 3-liter?
2-liter.
2. Wow. Okay, so that's why you gained so much time out of it.
You did 3?
Yeah, I did 3.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Yeah, no. I guess my calculations were just wrong there.
Yeah.
Well, you also have to figure that there is slipstream versus not being in the slip, and that depends a lot on how much fuel you're going to burn throughout the race.
Yeah. I was trying to stay in Cadillacs for the first few laps to sort of gauge if I could do a 2-liter. But I ended up thinking I couldn't, so I just went with 3.
And let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
So what happened there when you did collide with Losey? It looked like it was mostly just a little bit of a misestimation on how far he was from your front right.
I hit the inside wall, and that ping-ponged me into him.
Oh.
But that was just a mistake on my end.
And what an unfortunate time for that to happen. Well, with that, we do have some changes on the overall leaderboard. Goose, he fully crashed out today. So that means you guys are actually possibly still in contention for the overall championship. I did not think we were going to see a crash out. But with that, Goose is at 293 points, P1. P2 is Ivan with 248. Roland, you've got 212. Cadillac's got 178 now with that win. Edvin is at 141. Jesper's at 115. Stell's at 93. Taylor's at 80. Luca Panabianco, he had a bit of a poor race today, 65. Tied with Simon Madlener. And then a bunch of people who didn't show up today, except for Ashley, who is down in 15th. But overall, possibly the craziest win of the season. Some people are seeing different things on different ends. Some people think that Roland, you won. Some people think that Cadillac won.
On
But that's just-
FSGP, I'm seeing that it was Cadillac. So, yeah.
Sometimes that's just how netcode goes. Well, that is unfortunate, but our next round is at Singapore on October 4th for round 18, same time as today. We'll hope we'll see you next time. Does anyone have anything they'd like to say?
No.
No.
All right, well, I can't promise we'll have this crazy of the race next time, but join us then to find out.